Hello everyone, I am Brittany the Cosmic Lunar Soul. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to all of my subscribers. Today I have another review, or another flip through for you. This is the Black Tarot and the accompanying ancestral illustration guided journal by not hopefully I'm saying this right, by Nasha Williams. This was sent to me by Running Press Books. I have been looking forward to getting this for a while. So I am going to go into the book first, and it kind of gives you a taste of what you're going to get in the deck. And then we will get into the deck, the box, all of the goodies that we usually get into. You can use the timestamps to skip around if you would like to. Here is the Ancestral Illumination book. This again is by Nasha Williams, and it retails for $17.95 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. And again, this was sent to me by Running Press Books publishers. This is actually a guided journal that goes along with the Black Tarot, which we will be talking about in a second. So opening it up, it kind of has that classic journal feel, this journal belongs to, and then it gets into the author a little bit, and just she's explaining her life and where this series came from. And basically it comes into the fact that, she was adopted as a kid, and, she's Black and was adopted into a transracial family. So as an African American growing up without African American family, she felt very disconnected from her ancestors. So long story short, that is where a lot of this comes into play. So we have different sections here. This is engaging in astral work, and it just talks about the math behind your ancestors. And then talking about when you choose to connect with them. And this can be done in a lot of different ways. Some of the things that she says here, which can be hard sometimes as African Americans, is research and visit spaces connected to your ancestry, which, sometimes we just don't have that. Speak to your ancestors. So part of this journal will help with that. Spend time with family and recover stories. This is actually one of my favorite ways. I love learning about my family, but I only get one side of my family in doing that. Build an ancestor altar. This is really nice because my ancestor altar is not necessarily for blood relatives, but also for people that were important to me or to my family. And then, of course, divination tools. So this obviously, considering you're on my channel right now, you probably know that is also another big portion of how I go about ancestor work. Of course, I am a moon whore, so I like that they include rituals for the moon phases. And then we have questions to meditate on, and then it basically gets into the example of the book. So it kind of just walks you through what a page looks like. It's fairly simple and mostly self-explanatory. So let's just skip into it. It's broken down into months, and the way that I believe it's expected you to fill this out is to do them weekly, I would say. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th is a reflection. So there's generally 4 weeks in a month, 4 full weeks. Say that 10 times fast. There are generally 4 full weeks in a month. So in my mind, this is set up to do weekly. There are some things that I like, some things that I don't like, and let's get into them. This incorporates a lot of things that you can use for metrics. So we have your suit, the numbers, the elements, the colors. So that's kind of nice, but at the same time, I wish so much space was not devoted to that, because I could just write that here, because we have this huge box that is devoted to showing off the cards. Again, I do like that includes the standard things. If you used a specific spread, the date, the moon phase, the question or prompt that you're going with, and whether you feel like this is a yes, no, or maybe. We have space for your interpretation, keywords, and message steps after reading. So in my mind, what I would have liked to see is this stuff either made smaller or just as like little checkpoints here. And then this page has more room for writing. I don't mind the moments of gratitude. Again, that can be a little smaller as well. But overall, I think that this is a pretty easy book to go through. And this is how the entire book is set up. So let's skip to the end and I'll show you how some of this is. This does include keywords. So if you're using a deck on the go, for instance, and you're just taking this with you, no guidebook or anything, you do have all of that in there. And you have a lot of other things as well that you may not get in a regular guidebook. It includes the planets for the majors. It includes color associations, chakra associations, crystal associations, and body parts and function associations. I personally don't utilize a lot of that, but I think that I do know that some people do. And then here we have just a key word or key phrase for upright and reverse for the minor arcana. And then it does give a little bit of synopsis very quickly about the suit. So this is the suit of wands. It's the suit of fire. It's about creativity, and it includes the astrology or the signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So that way, if you need to reference this stuff, it is here. We have the birth cards in tarot. This is based off of just one, I guess, yeah, just one card per birth, per sign, really. So for me, Taurus, it would be the Hierophant. But if you go into tarot, like birth card calculators, some people have 2, some might have 3. So it depends how they are calculating that out. But these are just based off of like traditional Rider Waite astrology. Then we have the numerology, which you guys, if you have been on my channel long enough, you know I love that. I love having the numerology. And then in the back, we just have some pages for notes. So at the very back, we have a little surprise here. We have some stickers, which is kind of nice, but also bittersweet because they are the tarot stickers of this deck. And I don't know that I can get these again. So if I'm using them in the journal, then I don't know, once I run out, because there's only one of each. If I run out, I don't know that I can get them again, which is sad. But I do like that they included them because you can really turn this, you can kind of make this your own and turn it into your own little like junk journal, but you have the foundation here so you know what it is that you want to add to it. And maybe I will do a little bit of that. I think my goal is to start with this in the new year. So if you want to do this along with me, let me know in the comments. All right, let's go look at the deck. So I'll be right back. All right, we have the deck here. This, again, is by Running Press. This was sent to me, and it costs $28 in the US, $35 Canadian, and it is also by Naisha Williams. So this is an Ancestral Awakening deck and guidebook. It's quite a lovely box. This is kind of like a deluxe box. It has the magnetic swing top, and you can see a little bit of that like gloss on there. Can you, let me see. Yeah, there we go. You can see that gloss on there. So it's really well done. We have a nice large guidebook here, and then we have a little box. This is a standard tuck box right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. Let's look at the guidebook. We have a lovely table of contents. This is fully illustrated and colored throughout the guidebook. I will mention one of the things that was changed is that cups is baskets in this deck. It's the only change. I generally don't like suit name changes unless they're like one of the standard, like each suit kind of has like 2 standard options. But since this is the only change and it's very obvious which one is which, I am okay with it for now. So let's see. We have the story behind the deck, and then we go into the first section, which is understanding tarot, which includes getting started, what to ask, when to pull, and how. So this is all of the, I would say, like minutia of learning if you have not, if you're new to tarot. Then we have the Black Tarot Deck and Guidebook section. This goes into the symbolism in the deck, the suits, the alignment in yang and yin, and then affirmations. Then we go into spreads. It includes 1 card, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some specialty spreads. I love when decks include specialty threads. Specialty spreads. Preparing for your reading. More sort of minutia, and then we get into the card meanings, and then it finally ends with about the author and about the illustrator. So the of course, I mentioned previously, if you didn't skip through it, the book was created with the intent of, being used with this deck. And the artist's story is that she was adopted and didn't grow up around other African Americans and felt very disconnected because of it. So this deck is all about embracing, traditional BIPOC traditions. We have types of divination here under understanding tarot. I like that she mentions bone readings, only because I am biased. Guides can send signs and gives examples of signs, things to ask, and when to pull and how. So it goes into the symbolism in the deck, and it starts off with water, and goes into, that's interesting. So it goes from water to the moon phases, which complements the journal really well, and then goes into the suits. So, again, we have wands, baskets, which is cups. We have knives, which is swords, and coins, which is pentacles. The courts have also been renamed. The sons are the pages. The daughters are the knights. The mothers are the queen, and the fathers are the king. Now, that will be a little confusing because the pages and knights in the Wild Unknown are switched, so I have to keep that in mind. It goes into the meaning of the different suits, just like their theme, the astrological signs, the elements that are associated with it, and then just common traits. Of course, we have more numerology, which I just love, specifically tarot numerology. And then we're talking about the yang and the yin. The yang is the known, so what's known. This is order, masculinity, day, authoritarianism, fascism. And then yin is the unknown, which is chaos, femininity, night, decadence, and nihilism. So under affirmations, it says each major arcana card has an affirmation you can use to empower and embody the positive aspects of the card. I really like that because that gives more, that explains a lot more that we saw in the Tower Journal that we can utilize. Here we have spreads. The one card is just a table of different ideas that you can ask. The 2 card has common 2 card spreads, do and don't, situation challenge, blockage solution, aim and blockage, ideal situation, what are you settling for? Then we have a huge list of 3 cards, a nice list of 4 cards, and then we have our 5 cards. I really like that they included a lot of spreads. So this specialty spread, we have 2. We have 3 specialty spreads. This is a 6 card specialty spread, and this is about, what ancestor you're speaking to. This one is about this goes through a lot of this, like your bloodline blessings, challenges, from your paternal and maternal side, talent, stuff like that. It's very in-depth. And then we have a 12 card, it says specialty spread, but it's actually a year in advance spread. It's just laid out differently. It's laid out in quarters instead of circular. We have the preparing for a reading section. I'm going to go ahead and skip that and then go into the card meaning. So here are the major arcana. We have, so everything is set up the same way. We have the name, we have traits, the card description. When this card is pulled, things to consider, flower association, element association, chakra, yang, and yin. And then we go into aligning and affirmation. One of the things that I don't like in general, and it's just a personal preference, it probably doesn't even matter to you guys. I don't like when the pages are toggled. So the magician starts on a page that the fool ends on, and so forth. So this starts halfway through the page, this starts at the beginning of the page, and then it goes on. I think it makes it hard to flip through the book. But again, it's not like the end of the world. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Like, just make the text like a half a point smaller and squeeze everything onto one page. So this book does something weird where it goes through the court cards separate of the minors. So we have the minors start here, but all of the court cards are here. I don't like that at all. And this could be because I haven't really used it yet, but my first reaction is I don't really care for that setup. I also don't like that. So in my mind, the order of courts is pages, knights, queens, and kings. So you either go up or you go down. But this starts in the middle. It starts with mother and then father, which is queen, king. And then it goes into daughter and then son, which is knight and page. Let me look at that again. Okay, so daughter is knight, son is page. So it goes in this weird order that I think would make it hard because they change the names of the suits or change the names of the courts. It makes it hard to keep track. And in my mind, you got to pick a struggle, right? If you're going to change the suits or change the courts, at least make the guidebook flow in a way that a normal guidebook flows. So I personally just don't like that. But the information is all of the same stuff that you get in with the major arcanas. You have your trait, card description, yin, yang, and aligning. And it does that for the entire court card section. Here we go into the minors. So here is one of the cover pages for the minors, and then it goes into the same exact thing. It has a lot of information in them, so I do appreciate that much. I just, like I said, I personally do not like when stuff is changed around unless there is a rhyme or reason to it, and I just can't seem to find one. Let me know, guys. Do you guys even care? Am I just ranting? What's your opinion on it? I do think it's a fairly good guidebook otherwise, but that would be my one critique of it. It's structurally, it's created really well. And like I said, I really like the unique cards or unique spreads that were put into it. All right. Now we're moving over to our second box review. This is the tuck box that the cards came in. Let me see if I can get this open. I don't like tuck boxes because I tend to tear them. I did get it open, so I'm going to put this off to the side. Standard tuck box. Really nothing to write home about in regards to this box. Really all of the pizzazz was in the big box, but this is nice if you want to, because obviously you're not going to travel with that big box, so this is nice for travel purposes. All right, I'm gonna get the cards open and get everything prepared for the flip through, and we'll be right back. right, so that was the flip through. Let's talk about the cards. So one of the things that, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but you can kind of see that line there. There's like a little bit of a manufacturer's issue where the deck, this is flat. This has a bow to it. It doesn't matter because I riffle shuffle my deck and it's going to all bow together eventually. If you don't do that, you probably would care that when you get your deck, it might have a disconnect here. I will say this cardstock is super thick. This is a chunky, she thick, all right? She's a chunky monkey. But, and I feel like I can say that because I'm black. Other people maybe don't say that. But I love the back of this. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like the nice mixture of colors. It kind of, in this style, reminds me a lot of the art style in Prisma Visions. And I think that's why I really like it. It's just, it's more monotone with this pop of color here. I will say, though, if you like to incorporate reversals in your deck, and depending how you do your picks, the backs are not reversible. So if that bothers you, that is something to keep aware of. So let's go ahead and do a quick shuffle. This is overhand, again with this nice, like, this sort of coated matte. It's a little chunky. It requires some breaking in. If you've seen my other flip throughs, you know that's fairly standard for a coated matte. It just, oops, requires some breaking in. This deck is very thick, my poor hands. I am going to try to do a riffle. See what happens. I'm going to do it. It's just going to be hard. Ooh, my hands are very small. Bridging this is going to be hard. I'm going to try it again, though, because, like I said, when you break in the deck, it kind of becomes more meldable. Oh, gosh. This is very hard. All right, got a bridge going. I can feel that all the way through my forearms, but I will say being able to do that, cards kind of meld it together. See, problem solved. I will say that if you're gonna shuffle this, if you use this in person and you like to riffle, and your hands are small like mine, it might be a little embarrassing. But you can always break the deck in half and shuffle it that way too. I've done that before, so you can take it, shuffle half, shuffle the other half. And this is a good way, if you're trying to break in your deck, this is a good way to get that broken in a little faster. And then cut it again, add these halves, add that half, and then shuffle it together. So if your cards are sticky and you're not getting a good distribution of the cards, especially right out of the box, this is a good way to quickly do that. All right. So let's look at the cards. They are all very colorful. You can see that the backgrounds are, you know, different from each other. You especially saw that going through the major arcana. This is, so we have 3 major arcana here. I will say that there's not a lot of classic imagery in this. There are some specific symbols that are pulled out in some of the cards, but like for the Hermit, you can see the little lantern here. Let's see. The 2 of coins, you kind of see that it's almost like he is kicking one and then kicking the other. That's how I interpret that. So there's kind of that same balance thing that's going on. Generally, I'm not a fan of... So I guess I should say I really like Rider-Waite clones, but I don't like when things deviate too far from it. But I like the concept behind this deck, so you know, I'll let it slide. I'm making a lot of exceptions for this deck because I like the idea behind it. Like here's the 7 of Swords. This doesn't give me 7 of Swords vibes. It kind of gives me almost 5 of Wands vibes, almost, except with no other people represented in it. There aren't a lot of people represented in these cards. It's usually just one anyways, except for the family cards that I saw in like certain couples. But I will say that I'm looking forward to pairing this with the journal and seeing how it goes. I think this would go really well with the Golden Mantras deck. So let me do a quick shuffle. Actually, let me grab the Golden Mantras deck and then we'll kind of see how they look together. All right, here's the Golden Mantras deck. This is also by a Black creator. This is by Destiny Taylor. So that's kind of why I thought they would go well together. So let me do a quick shuffle. This isn't going to be a reading. This is just to see how things look together. We have the Empress here. And then let's see. This is just a Mantras deck. There are no images on this, so it's going to be a very unique pick. Okay, so we have the Empress here. I will say that together, the decks look really nice. Just, you know, that black, purple, and gold here mixed with this nice brown and black and the foiled edges kind of all go together. And then the borders on the cards really match up very well. So the Empress, we have the Empress card, and then this is the I Care for Myself card. I give myself what I need when I need it. And considering the Empress card is all about being nurturing oneself, and growing oneself, I think that these two decks could go really well together. I think they kind of already vibe together, which means I have some more options for my journaling that I want to do. So let me know, guys, what do you think of this pairing? Do you like it? And if you have other pairing ideas with this deck, let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, this was the flip through of the Black Tarot. Let me know what your thoughts were. Did you like this deck? Did you like the pairing I chose with it? Or do you have other ideas of decks to pair with this, especially if you've seen my other flip throughs? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. All right, bye, guys.